Let's get weird into it. Number 8. Disposable clothes. Imagine it's the year 2242. You're a history student, and today's lesson is on the bizarre rituals of the early 21st century. Your professor pulls up an archival image of a place called a mall, a temple where ancient humans went to purchase their social status, and she points to the most baffling artifact of all, a shirt that costs less than a cup of coffee. A shirt that was designed, from its very first thread, to die. You see, right now, you are living in the golden age of garbage clothes. We call it fast fashion. It's a system where trends change faster than a politician's promises, and clothing is manufactured with the structural integrity of a wet paper towel. You buy a shirt for $5, wear it twice, and after one trip through the laundry machine, it contorts into a shape unknown to geometry. So you throw it out. No big deal, right? It was only $5. But to your great-great-grandchildren, this will look like a form of mass psychosis. They'll learn how millions of tons of textiles, synthetic fabrics bleeding microplastics, were piled into mountains and deserts, creating colorful, toxic monuments to our need for a new outfit for a single Instagram post. They'll see footage of garment workers paid pennies to operate in conditions that would make a coal miner flinch. Also, you could get a cheap dopamine hit from a package arriving at your door. They won't see it as shopping. They'll see it as a global ritual of waste, a culture that prized the feeling of newness over absolutely everything else, including the planet it was actively choking with novelty tank tops. They'll wonder why we didn't just make clothes that, lasted. The concept will seem so profoundly stupid, they'll probably assume it was some kind of elaborate, planet-wide performance art. Number 7. The green desert. You step outside on a Saturday morning. The air is thick with the smell of cut grass and the high-pitched scream of a two-stroke engine. Your neighbor, Dave, is out there, meticulously piloting his riding mower in perfect, overlapping lines. He's guarding his territory. His weapon? A carpet of perfectly uniform bright green grass, an ecological dead zone, a velvet prison for the soil. This is the American lawn, and future generations are going to be absolutely mystified by it. They'll look at satellite images of our suburbs and see millions of acres of the most useless crop ever conceived. We spend more money, more water, and more fossil fuels maintaining these green voids than we do on some actual food crops. And for what? So we have a soft place to stand while we grill? So our homeowners association doesn't send us a passive-aggressive letter? To a future society grappling with resource scarcity and ecological collapse, our obsession with lawns will seem like an act of profound arrogance. Think about it. You take a piece of land, systematically kill every native plant on it, douse it with chemicals to prevent anything interesting from growing back, and then plant a single, thirsty species of grass that serves no purpose. It feeds no one. It shelters no wildlife. It is, biologically speaking, a parking lot with blades. They'll learn that we pour drinking water on it, billions of gallons of it, just to keep it green. They'll see the chemical runoff poisoning our rivers. They'll hear the noise pollution from our leaf blowers and mowers. And they'll ask, why? Why did they build these sterile green monuments to conformity instead of planting gardens, or restoring meadows, or literally anything else? And the only answer we'll have is, because it looked neat. Number 6. The attention merchants. You're scrolling. You don't know why you're scrolling, but your thumb has a mind of its own. It's a hypnotic, downward flick. Past a cousin's baby, a political argument, an ad for a product you talked about 3 hours ago. You see a person, impossibly beautiful, holding up a bottle of green juice. They smile into the camera, into your soul, and tell you this juice will fix your life. And for a split second, you believe them. Welcome to the age of the influencer, our strange new class of digital priests and priestesses. In the future, sociologists will study this phenomenon with the same morbid curiosity they reserve for cults and pyramid schemes. They will be horrified by the idea that our entire information ecosystem was built around monetizing human attention, and the most successful players were the ones who could best simulate friendship for profit. Your descendants will learn that millions of people structured their lives, their personalities, and even their faces around an algorithm designed by a 20-something in Silicon Valley. The goal was to be relatable enough to build trust, and aspirational enough to make you feel inadequate. It was a perfect soul-crushing machine. You were the product, your attention was the currency, and your growing sense of anxiety was just the cost of doing business. They'll see sponsored posts as a bizarre form of propaganda, where individuals rented out their personal credibility to corporations. They'll watch videos of people fake crying about their struggles before seamlessly transitioning into a discount code for a meal kit service. It will look like a mass psychological experiment we all willingly signed up for, trading our collective mental health for a feed that was curated to make us feel perpetually behind. And they'll shudder at the thought that our heroes weren't scientists or artists, but just the people who were best at pretending to have a perfect life online. Number 5. The brain damage sport. The lights are blinding. 10 million people are watching. You are a human missile, encased in 20 pounds of plastic and padding, and your only job is to collide with another human missile at a combined speed of 30 miles per hour. The sound is a sickening crack, a sound that echoes through the stadium. The crowd roars. You just gave another man a concussion for their entertainment. And you're next. American football. In the future, this won't be seen as a sport. It will be seen as a public health crisis we turned into a national holiday. People will look back at us watching giant, powerful men methodically destroy their own brains for our Sunday afternoon amusement, and they will be repulsed. They'll see it as our version of the gladiator games, a brutal spectacle where the long-term damage was an open, accepted secret. Think about it from their perspective. We had the science. We had the brain scans. We knew what chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, was. We knew it was turning the brains of our heroes into something resembling rotten tau protein soup, leading to depression, dementia, and suicide. And what did we do? We made the helmets shinier, cranked up the volume on the broadcast, and sold more beer. Future documentaries will show slow-motion replays of helmet-to-helmet hits, not as moments of athletic glory, but as evidence in a trial against our entire culture. They'll interview the children of players who couldn't remember their names. They'll read the league's internal memos, which sound suspiciously like the ones from the tobacco industry a century earlier. And they will be utterly baffled that the most popular form of entertainment in the most powerful nation on earth was a game that systematically dismantled the minds of its participants, one violent play at a time. Number 4. The daily death race. You get in your car. It's a 2-ton metal box powered by controlled explosions. You are about to pilot this machine down a strip of pavement at 70 miles per hour, surrounded by thousands of other people in identical metal boxes, all separated by nothing more than a few feet and a painted line. You will do this every single day, and you will consider it completely normal. The personal automobile. For us, it's freedom. For future generations, it will be a case study in deadly inefficiency. They'll look at our transportation system the way we look at doctors prescribing cigarettes for a cough. They'll be horrified, first and foremost, by the sheer body count. Over 1 million people, every single year, sacrificed to the god of the individual commute. It's a quiet, continuous global catastrophe that we've just accepted. But it's not just the danger, it's the absurdity. Your great-grandchildren, zipping around in silent automated public pods, will find the concept of a traffic jam hilarious and tragic. So, let me get this straight, they'll ask. You all owned your own massive polluting machine, used it for maybe 5% of the day, and for the rest of the time it just sat there, taking up space. And when you all wanted to go to the same place at the same time, you'd just sit in a line for hours, burning fuel, getting angry. Yes, we did. They'll see our sprawling cities, deformed by the need for parking lots and highways. They'll see the smog, the noise, the road rage. They'll see a system that isolated us in our private bubbles, cost a fortune to maintain, and was one of the single biggest contributors to the climate crisis. And they won't understand why we clung so tightly to a technology that was so obviously, so catastrophically broken. Number 3. The animal factories. You're in the grocery store, standing in front of the meat section. It's a clean, sterile environment. The product is neatly packaged in plastic and styrofoam, pink and bloodless. It doesn't look like an animal. It looks like a product. It has no story, no history. And that is by design, because if you knew its story, you would probably never eat it again. The story is factory farming, and when the full truth of it becomes common knowledge, it will be viewed as one of the greatest moral failings of our era. Future people will learn about the scale of it. Not thousands, not millions, but billions of sentient creatures living lives that are nothing short of a biological horror film. Chickens packed so tightly in sheds they can't turn around. Pigs in gestation crates so small they can't even lie down comfortably. Cows standing knee-deep in their own filth. This isn't farming. It's industrial production, where the product just happens to be a living, feeling being. To your descendants, our casual acceptance of this system will be incomprehensible. They'll see our beloved pets, our dogs and cats who we treat as family members. And then they'll see the footage from inside a slaughterhouse, and they will accuse us of having a kind of collective cognitive dissonance, a mass delusion that allowed us to love some animals and torture others. They'll study the environmental devastation, the methane emissions, the deforestation for feed crops, the massive waste lagoons poisoning waterways. They'll learn about the routine use of antibiotics, creating superbugs that threatened our own health. And they'll realize we did all of this not out of necessity, but for convenience, for cheap burgers and bargain chicken wings. They won't just see it as cruel. They will see it as a profound betrayal of our role as stewards of the planet, a stain on our species' history. Number 2. The friendly poison. Imagine you have a disease. The doctors tell you that inside your body, some of your own cells have gone rogue. They are multiplying, building an empire, consuming you from the inside out. It's cancer, and the best solution they have is to inject you with a poison, so powerful that it kills almost everything it touches. The hope is that it kills the renegade cells just a little bit faster than it kills you. This is chemotherapy, and it is, without a doubt, one of the most brutal, primitive medical treatments that we still consider mainstream. In the future, when medicine is about precision, about nanobots targeting individual cancer cells or gene therapies rewriting faulty code, our current approach will look like medieval surgery. They'll see it as the medical equivalent of trying to get a stain out of a rug by setting the whole house on fire. Future medical students will read our textbooks with a mixture of pity and horror. They'll learn about the side effects we considered normal, the hair loss, the constant nausea, the compromised immune systems, the sheer, unrelenting exhaustion. They'll read patient accounts of feeling like they were being chemically dismantled, their bodies turned into a battlefield where the collateral damage was immense. They won't blame the doctors. They will see the heroism in it, the desperate, brilliant attempt to fight a terrifying disease with the crude tools available. But they will be shocked that this was the peak of our technology. They will see it as a symbol of our scientific infancy, a reminder that for all our confidence, we were still just throwing chemical sledgehammers at a problem that required a microscopic scalpel. For them, chemotherapy will be a chilling monument to our own biological ignorance. Number 1. The Sky Eaters. Go outside. Take a deep breath. You are breathing in the exhaust of a billion engines, the ghostly breath of a civilization powered by burning the dead. We are digging up the fossilized remains of ancient life, dinosaurs, plankton, entire forests, and setting them on fire to power our lights, our cars, and our computers. We are, quite literally, fueling our present by incinerating the past. And future generations will see this as the single most insane, self-destructive act in the history of humanity. They won't just be horrified, they will be furious. They will be living on a planet that we broke. They will be dealing with the consequences, the chaotic weather, the vanished coastlines, the acid oceans, the mass extinctions. They will read our scientific reports, our climate models, our international agreements, and they will see that we knew. We knew exactly what we were doing. They'll watch our commercials for giant gas-guzzling SUVs and see them as advertisements for planetary vandalism. They'll learn about rolling coal, a practice where people modified their trucks to spew black smoke. And they'll see it as a bizarre, nihilistic ritual. They'll study the politics of it all, the denial, the greed, the short-sightedness of leaders who chose quarterly profits over a habitable future. It will be the ultimate crime, a crime committed not against a person or a nation, but against time itself. They will look at our entire civilization as a marvel of engineering built on a foundation of pure madness. We built wonders, we reached for the stars, but we did it all by running a machine that was slowly, methodically, poisoning our own home. They won't have to wonder what our greatest, most terrifying legacy was. They'll be breathing it in, and that's our time for today. More strange things are always coming, so I'll see you in the next one.